So the first question is from Mick, and it's about how do I handle rejection in real estate? So let's read his question directly. I'm new in real estate. I don't know how to handle people who blow me off and are either outwardly rude or politely blow me off. Okay, so there's a few things at play here. And the first thing is understanding why do people blow us off? And when people blow us off, it's really one of two reasons. Either A, they're not interested. So I'm selling them something that they don't want. Or B, they want it, but our approach is not compelling. So those tend to be the two main reasons. Now, oftentimes, if people are blowing us off and this is happening frequently, my guess is that there is some cold calling going on, or there's some online lead generation going on. And from there, a lot of those people, even if they sign up on our website or download our guide, they're not showing the level of interest that we're expecting from somebody. And so we need to understand the type of lead that we're dealing with. If this person is dealing with their SOI and their SOI is blowing them off, we very much need to focus on our communication skills. Okay. So if this question was based around why are the people that I know or referring to me blowing me off, that's because there's something wrong with how I'm approaching it. That's a communication issue. However, if we're focusing on online lead gen, cold calling, these sort of practices and people are blowing us off, it's a different story altogether. So we'll address both of these, but starting with this concept of online lead gen, and if we're focused on this method of prospecting, this method of prospecting is a numbers game. Like very pure and simple. Yes, communication is extremely important. However, more important than that is just our ability to pick up the phone and have conversations. Now, there's a few things that will come from this. The more conversations we have, the better we're going to be at converting these online leads. I think we have an understanding of that. However, rejection, it still stings. So how do we go about handling this? Well, first off, it's understanding that yes, rejection and online leads or rejection and cold calling are going to go hand in hand. You will be rejected. You're going to be rejected a lot more than you will be accepted. So by selecting this prospecting method, we are saying that, hey, I'm okay getting rejected, or I'm going to get rejected. I understand that. Whether we're okay with it or not, I don't think the lead cares. So instead, we need to understand the means of prospecting that we're doing. So if we are focusing on this, what are some strategies that we can use in order to handle rejection? Well, the best way, the way that I found works extremely well for me, is actually flipping this whole script around. So oftentimes when we're calling on an online lead or we're cold calling, we're trying to get that person to work with us. Instead, try to get that person to reject you. Now, this sounds really counterintuitive, but it works like crazy because it changes our psyche. So if I am trying to call somebody and what I'm trying to do is get rejected, then naturally I'm going to make more calls. I'm going to stop fearing rejection as much. So what we do, and there's actually a book on this, it's called Go for No. I believe that's what it's called, but it's around how when we're prospecting, if we're actually going for the rejection and rejection equals a win, so we're actually winning in the face of a rejection, then we're just naturally going to make more calls and we're going to start to be okay with rejection. So instead of focusing on, hey, how can I close more leads, focus on how can I get rejected more, which sounds counterintuitive, but what it's going to lead to is more calls. And because this is a numbers game, and a numbers game because we have to make a certain number of calls in order to convert one, and the more calls we make, the better we're going to become at conversion. So ultimately, this is a numbers game. We need to get comfortable with rejection. So one of the best ways to do this is actually set a goal for X number of rejections. So today I want to get rejected 50 times. And if you get rejected 50 times, that's a successful day. Instead of saying I'm going to make calls and I'm going to try and get a lead today, because when we focus on that, it can be very demoralizing when we've had a number of rejections. So it's all about flipping the script when it comes to this one. Now, we also talked about just general communication skills. So when it comes to communication skills in particular, really one of the most effective ways to improve our communication, there's two real ways that we can do this. Number one is we do need to speak more. So getting involved with public speaking can completely transform the way that you communicate. And whether that be Toastmasters or some other public speaking group, start public speaking more. You're going to find that you're going to become a much more persuasive public speaker. You're going to enjoy it more. And on top of that, these conversations are going to lead to more conversions. So, regardless, whether this SOI or online leads, we do want to improve our communication skills, and public speaking can do that. Also, video. The more video that we're shooting, the better we're going to become at public speaking and communication. And on top of that, if we can teach, something teaching related will also improve our communication skills. So, these are some actionable ways that you can pretty well almost instantly start to improve your skill set when it comes to communication.